Here's a real example of how a mental illness defense can translate to a win in your case. Thanks for liking and subscribing to our channel. Mental illness is an epidemic in American society. The National Institute of Mental Health estimates that more than 1 in 5 US adults live with mental illness. That's more than 59 million people. How does the criminal law deal with people who commit crimes while mentally ill? In a previous video, I addressed the question of whether a mental illness can be a defense to your case. I said that it can be and gave a few different ways that mental illness can be used in defending a case. Because almost all crimes require both an action and a mental state, a mental illness that interferes with a person's ability to form that mental state can be a defense to a charge. Insanity and diminished capacity are two examples that I gave. But in Washington state, a person suffering from a mental illness that commits a crime can also potentially use that illness to avoid any time in prison or jail, even for serious or violent felonies. We recently were able to successfully use a mental health sentencing alternative in a robbery case here. Our client faced a half-dozen serious charges that carried more than a decade in prison. Because the client suffered from ongoing mental illness and was more in need of treatment than incarceration, we negotiated a plea deal to just 2 felonies. The next step was to collect all our client's medical history and current treatment records and put together a plan for the client moving forward. The plan involved treatment and counseling, family support, regular drug testing, and prescribed medications. With this plan, we persuaded the judge to eliminate prison and instead give our client 1 year of probation and allow him to continue on with the treatment plan that we proposed. Just having a mental illness did not get the client off the hook completely, but it did serve to explain the client's actions in context and show that with the proper treatment and oversight, he was capable of living a law-abiding life in peace. More and more, criminal law is responding to the idea that mental illness is a public health crisis that requires early intervention more than simply locking a person up and hoping for the best when they get released.